Hello everyone, good evening. So in today's class, what is it we are going to do is, we are going to understand terrestrial magnetism, angle of inclination, and which is also called as dip, and we are also going to see your angle of declination as well. Now so the main heading to which it belongs, today's class heading is your terrestrial magnetism. So what is this terrestrial magnetism means? Your magnetic field lines because of earth. Okay, so what are these magnetic field lines because of earth? I will tell you. Now if you take your earth, now this earth, what it will have is, you must have studied something called as, poles, that is your north pole, south pole. Then you must have studied in lower classes in geography that this is your equator. Okay, so this you must have studied in geography in lower classes. Now what I will be doing is, I will be adding more amount of clarity into this topic. Okay, so we will study in terms of physics. Okay, so to elaborate more, your earth will consist of not only north and south pole, but I will say, I will add extra information, that is you will have NG, which is your geographic north. Your earth will have geographic north pole. It will have geographic south pole. Then apart from this, your earth will also have magnetic north. This NM is called as magnetic north pole. Magnetic north. Then you will have SM, that is your magnetic south. Both are not same, they are different. How I will explain now, don't worry. So this you will be studying in your lower classes, but I am elaborating little more. Your earth will have more number of poles. So it's not only your geographic north and south, but you will also have magnetic north and south. Right? Now another thing is, I will draw it with a different color. You will also have two equators. One is geographic equator. Geographic equator. Geographic equator, your earth is assumed to be a big sphere. Your geographic equator will be like this, and perpendicular to this, you will have like this, you will have your magnetic equator. Magnetic equator like this. So our earth will have not a just simple north pole, south pole, but logically speaking you will have two poles, geographic north, magnetic north pole, geographic south pole and magnetic south pole like this, and there will be two equators. So just keep this in mind, because I am going to use these terms, so you should not get confused. Just keep this in mind. This this is your magnetic axis. This inclined line is magnetic axis. This line is your geographic axis. So axis is line. Now your earth will rotate about geographic axis. Your earth will rotate about geographic axis. But your field lines will be according to the magnetic axis. For now just keep this basic information in mind. Now I will start elaborating more. Now if you take magnetic compass needle, Okay, what will magnetic compass needle do? Your magnetic compass needle, it will show magnetic field. Okay, magnetic compass needle will show magnetic field. So now if you keep a magnetic compass needle like this, okay, what will happen? It will show magnetic field lines. Okay, now in labs you will be doing that, but okay, if you take a simple bar magnet, okay, if you take a simple bar magnet, this bar magnet, if north pole is here and if south pole is here, okay, for this bar magnet, how will the magnetic field lines be? Means we have studied already in the previous videos that there will be magnetic field lines will be away from north and towards south, inside it is from south to north, and it is a closed line. Here also it will be like this. So it will be away from north, it will end towards south. This is for bar magnet. Now if you keep your magnetic compass needle, okay, if you keep your magnetic compass needle, what it will do is it will have, okay, its north pole on the top, south pole on the bottom like this. It will show in the direction of magnetic field. Your north pole will be showing this, okay, the magnetic field direction at that particular point. So I want you to understand that your magnetic compass needle, okay, magnetic compass needle, okay, what it will do is, okay, it shows magnetic field direction, okay, parallel to surface of earth, parallel to surface of earth. Why did I write parallel to surface of earth? I will tell you. It shows magnetic field direction, but if you keep it on a table like this, okay, what it will do is it will show, okay, in that particular plane, okay, in that particular plane it will show the direction of, okay, magnetic field. So if it is, say for example, it is in this direction, so it will show in this direction only, okay, because you are placing it in your hand like this. It is not allowed to rotate vertically. Your magnetic compass needle, okay, your magnetic compass needle, it is allowed to move only in the horizontal plane, okay, it is allowed to move only in the horizontal plane. So it will show in this plane or in this horizontal direction only. So that is why I have written parallel to surface of earth. Now okay, keep this point in mind. Okay, now if you take your earth, okay, if you take your earth, as I have shown you previously, okay, your earth will have, okay, something called as magnetic axis and one more thing, that is your geographic axis. Okay, it is your geographic axis. This is your magnetic axis. Okay, your earth will have these two axes and it will rotate about geographic axis like this. Now if you look at this two axes here, okay, if you look at these two axes, okay, now why is this magnetic axis? I will tell you. Okay, it was found experimentally that, okay, it was found experimentally that, okay, so here your magnetic field lines are coming like this and terminating like this. Okay, right, your magnetic compass needle, it is showing its magnetic field lines like this. So now, okay, if you look at the direction of Earth's magnetic field, arrows if I keep, okay, right, if I keep the arrows, look at this, okay, right, look at this, the arrows direction is like this, okay, your arrows direction is like this. Now what did I tell you previously? I have told you that, okay, this is your Earth's geographic north pole and this is your geographic south pole. Okay, this is SG. NG represents, Okay, I'll write it to the side. NG comma SG will indicate, okay, geographic, okay, NG comma SG will indicate geographic north and south pole, geographic north south poles. Okay, right? Next, if you look at, okay, if you look at NM comma SM, I am referring to magnetic, okay, I am referring to magnetic north south poles. Okay, previously in your lower classes in geography not much has been discussed regarding this, but now for understanding sake, okay, I am explaining this. Okay, any doubts? Okay, just let me know. Now this, okay, if I indicate it with some white color, this is your magnetic north pole, this is your magnetic south pole. Now don't get confused. For a bar magnet, how is that we are keeping the field lines? For a bar magnet, we are keeping field lines, okay, for a bar magnet we are keeping field lines. How is that we are keeping your field lines for bar magnet? Okay, for a bar magnet we are keeping field lines, okay, for a bar magnet we are keeping field lines. Just hold on, let me correct the camera focus. Okay, for a bar magnet we are keeping the field lines outside away from north and towards south. Okay, here this is SM, sorry, okay, magnetic north and this is your magnetic south pole. Now look at this field direction. For bar magnet we are keeping your field lines away from north and towards south. Now here look at this, your field lines direction, don't think I have kept it wrong, I have kept it correctly only. It is from south, magnetic south pole to north pole. Okay, it was found experimentally. Why it comes, I will tell you. From this, what is that I can do? I can assume that your earth consists of, okay, it was assumed that your earth consists of, okay, a huge magnet. Initially people have assumed that initially earth consists of a huge magnet inside with its south pole here and north pole here. Okay, earth magnets, okay, earth, okay, why this magnetism comes I will tell you, but experimentally it was found out that, okay, experimentally it was found out that, okay, you are okay, this is imaginary, okay, don't get confused, this is imaginary, we are assuming it. Experimentally what is that we have seen? We have seen field lines, okay, going like this from magnetic south pole to magnetic north pole. So to justify this, okay, for production of magnetic field lines, we are assuming that our earth is having an imaginary magnet inside it with its north pole down and south pole up. Okay, don't get confused. Okay, your poles are different, geographic ones and magnetic ones both are different, and okay, geographic ones, magnetic ones are different, and earth we are assuming now because obviously we are seeing magnetic field lines. Okay, magnetic field lines is the reality, we are seeing the magnetic field lines. To justify it, what is that we are assuming is earth consists of, okay, a big magnet inside it, and that magnet's north pole is in this part and south pole is on the top. Okay, now if you draw this equator here, okay, if you draw an equator here, that is your geographic equator, okay, this is called as northern hemisphere, this is called as southern hemisphere. You must have studied in your geography, right? So this is, one is northern hemisphere and other one is southern hemisphere. Okay, right? Now for extra information sake, our latitude, longitude, if you look at this, they will be helpful in identifying the exact location, and how Google Maps and all will work is using latitude, longitude. Now, okay, let's not think too much about it. For now, understand that, okay, there is Earth and it consists of geographic North Pole, geographic South Pole, magnetic North Pole, magnetic South Pole. They are different, they will be tilted like this. Okay, magnetic axis is different. Magnetic axis is this way, geographic axis is this way. Okay, and in fact they will be tilted around 11.3 degrees variation. They will be tilted like this, and this is your geographic equator, and you will have that geographic equator will divide this Earth into two hemispheres. Now let's not worry about the geographic part. Okay, we are going to study magnetic field. Terrestrial magnetism means magnetism related to Earth, so we have to worry about magnetic field because of Earth. So that I am talking. So what is that I am trying to tell you? You will have magnetic North Pole, you will have magnetic South Pole, and don't look at that South Pole and say that, okay, your field direction is wrong. In fact it is correct. Okay, your Earth's magnet, that is imaginary. Why it comes I will tell you, but that magnet's magnetic field, it is, okay, inside Earth. We are assuming that because the field direction is like this, we are assuming an imaginary magnet is present. Why it is the case I will tell you. Now how it comes I will tell you, I will try to justify, but remember that, okay, this is imaginary, we are assuming it, and we are keeping South Pole in the top, okay, close to the poles, and North Pole on the bottom close to South Poles. Okay, right? This much if you understand, that is enough. Okay, so moral of the story is, you are observing magnetic field. How? You just simply use magnetic compass needle, that will show you the magnetic field. That much is enough. Now next question is why. Okay, right? Don't, this is correct, this is also correct, but we are naming the poles like this. Don't get confused. Okay, poles of, okay, Earth are different, that imaginary magnet we are keeping, that are different, and don't say that because the field, you cannot have field from south to north. Okay, it is correct only, it is from north to south. Okay, right? But this place, okay, they are originating from magnetic South Pole, that's all, but inside this there is North Pole only. Don't get confused. Okay, right? Next, any doubts? Okay, hope there are no doubts. Okay, right? Now just simply take your magnetic compass needle. Now if you take your magnetic compass needle here, okay, your North Pole, it will be this way, your South Pole will be this way, because, okay, your North Pole, Earth magnetic field is this way, your field direction is like this, right? So how much angle it shows means, it will show 0 degrees deflection, or it will be like this. Okay, your vertical, okay, your this thing is vertical. Here also if you show, okay, it will be like this, it will align, basically your north south will align in the direction of magnetic field. Your compass needle will align in the direction of magnetic field. Okay, right? Now vertical thing, don't get confused. Dip circle is an instrument which will measure dip. Okay, we will use dip circle more. Magnetic compass needle, it will show only, okay, magnetic field direction in the plane of plane parallel to Earth. Okay, so keep these things in mind. Okay, I will enter slowly. Now why magnetic field? Because of Earth. Okay, why do we actually have magnetic field? Because of Earth means, okay, so initially people thought, okay, okay, their Earth consists of, okay, huge magnet, but I'll put it little more extra points. Why terrestrial magnetism is the question that if you ask me. Okay, my answer that I'll give is, okay, initially people thought, okay, earth consists of a very big magnet like this with its south pole, north pole like this, right? But now for this magnet to exist like this, okay, later you will study, but in dielectric materials, in capacitors, you have already studied dielectric behavior is similar to this electric behavior, and magnetic behavior both are almost similar. So if you have some dielectric material like this, now if you give electric field, what will happen? Dielectric material means neutral material. This side you will have negative charge, this side you will have positive charge. This is called as polarization. Now if you increase this electric field too much, what happens? These things will get ionized and it will split into two ions. Okay, this dipole, small dipoles that you have, they will split and they will form into ions, right? Similar to this, okay, right, instead of electric field, okay, later you will study what is called as, okay, Curie temperature later in this next part, okay, in the classification of magnetic materials. So earth temperature is very high, okay, it is very high in the core, okay, in the core very high temperature, okay, in the core there is high temperature. Now according to Curie's law, okay, you cannot have, okay, later we will study this in detail, you cannot have materials exhibiting magnetic property if temperature crosses, okay, you cannot have materials exhibiting magnetic property if temperature becomes greater than Curie temperature, okay, the magnetic material will lose its magnetic property. So earth core, because it is having high temperature, okay, earth core, because it is having high temperature, okay, people thought there is no possibility of magnet residing inside it, okay, because of that high temperature, eventually this magnetic material will actually eventually it will lose its magnetic dipole moment. So there is no possibility of having bar magnet inside it. That was initially people thought it was magnet, but later according to this reason it has been, it's not convincing for us to have this magnet without getting actually melted, okay. Even this LHC, Large Hadron Collider experiment, at high temperatures those electromagnets have melted, so later they have come up with some alternative, that's a different story. My point is, you cannot have a kind of bar magnet inside the earth, so that theory it has failed. So later, okay, even some research is still going on, but my point is, later scientists have told that, okay, your earth in the core molten form, okay, it consists of ions, okay, because of the metals present, okay, mostly it is iron, okay. Even in moon if you take, okay, so on the moon there is no molten metal inside the core, okay, so I have read it somewhere if I am correct, so that is why moon is not showing terrestrial magnetism, but earth, because of its iron core, okay, it is having metal, so in the metals means inside that, because of high temperature those metals are actually becoming ions. Sodium if you take metal, so Na plus, so they have very good ionizing capability. So because of the ions, okay, ions when they actually, because of rotation of earth, okay, so because of rotation of earth, okay, what happens, this ions will start rotating, okay, earth core contains ions, so ions rotation, indirectly ions rotation is nothing but charge rotation. Charge rotation will contribute to current, electric current I, your current will produce magnetic field B, okay. So what happens, you have this kind of magnetic field if it is like this. So if you have a loop according to Ampere's right hand thumb rule, I have explained, if you have, okay, if you have current going like this, your magnetic field lines will be coming like this. Okay, right? In the problem solving session, I will add little more extra points to this. But for now, if current is going anti-clockwise like this, your field lines will be like this, right? So if it is going clockwise, okay, this clockwise anti-clockwise is also it depends upon the reference frame. So with respect to one reference frame, if it is clockwise, with respect to other reference frame, it is anti-clockwise. But for now, for understanding sake, your field lines, okay, if it is clockwise rotation, it will be downwards. So kind of these poles, okay, they will be going like this. So because of rotation, so your charges indirectly they are rotating. If they are positive charges kind of stuff, your current is going like this. So it is clockwise rotation, okay. But in some book somewhere I have read that even these poles will shift, okay. Let's not go too much into details, you will get confused. So but remember the logic: rotation of earth, ion rotation, current is producing magnetic field, that magnetic field is this. But we are replacing this entire story with a bar magnet because we are studying pure magnetism, okay. So electromagnetism I have explained to you guys in detail, so I don't need to focus much, but reason is this much. If you know logically, that is enough. Now don't think too much why magnetism comes. I have told you the reason, I have tried to convince you, okay. Questions will not come from this anywhere. If at all, if questions come, basic theoretical questions will come, okay. So don't waste your time on this stuff, okay. Now next, let me drink some water. Now if you suspend a bar magnet like this, okay, what will happen is you will think that, okay, you will have a tendency that, okay, if you tie this rope to the center of mass, okay, you will have a tendency that, okay, this bar magnet will lie horizontally like this. But in reality, okay, what will happen is it will tilt like this. Getting my point? Depending upon your this thing, it doesn't matter whether you suspend it at the center of mass, still it will not lie horizontally like this, it will tilt like this. Why it will tilt like this, or why it will decline, okay, why it is going downwards means, okay, your bar magnet will orient itself, okay, your bar magnet will orient itself in the direction of resultant magnetic field, okay. Your bar magnet will orient itself in the direction of resultant magnetic field. So now if you take this bar magnet will not be like this, it will tilt like this. Why is it tilting like this? Okay, because your resultant magnetic field will be this way. Your earth surface, if you take, okay, this is your earth surface, okay, if you are taking this as your surface of earth, okay, it need not be exactly this way, depending upon different positions around the globe or earth that you have, it can even be this way. But my point is, your bar magnet will not suspend this way, okay, will not suspend horizontally, it will tilt like this. That means your resultant magnetic field is like this. This is your horizontal, okay. So now how much it is declining, how much it is coming down, this is called as your angle of inclination. Inclination is there, declination is there, or this is also called as dip, okay. So we will talk about this. This dip is very much required to understand terrestrial magnetism much better way. Okay, your compass needle, if you take, it is only in the horizontal plane, so it will only show in this direction, that's all, right? So getting my point, it will show your compass needle, if it is this way also, still it will show only this much. Compass needle will show only in the horizontal direction. Now in labs, if you see or if you type in Google later, you check, you will have something called as this kind of instrument, which is called as dip circle. Dip circle will have needle like this, so it will tilt like this from the horizontal. Okay, on the table if you keep, okay, your dip circle, it will be vertical. Dip circle, vertical needle. Okay, compass needle, what it will do, you will just simply, if you hold it in the hand, compass needle will show, it will tilt only in this particular plane, in the horizontal direction only. Dip circle, it will tilt it, I mean it will tilt itself in the vertical direction like this, it will try to tilt itself. Okay, dip circle instrument is different. Okay, compass needle is different. Compass needle, it will show magnetic field direction, yes, but it will show only this horizontal component only, it will show, it will not show the resultant magnetic field direction. Your dip circle will orient itself in the direction of resultant magnetic field. Okay, so my point is, bar magnet, if you are suspending, it's not horizontal, it will tilt itself depending upon which place, accordingly this angle will change with the horizontal. So now if you take earth, okay, your dip circle, okay, it is a needle. Okay, dip circle is a device, okay, which will measure dip angle. So my point is, I'll keep the heading as angle of inclination. In some books this is phi, in some books this is I. I mean you take any symbol, what is there, okay. It is also called as dip. What is this dip? I will tell you how much it is dipping. In this also there is apparent dip and true dip. You will get confused, but I will try to give clarity. So magnetic compass needle rotates in horizontal plane. Dip circle needle rotates in vertical plane. Both are different, okay, both are different, don't get confused, okay, right. Next, now dip circle needle, what it will do is gives angle made by resultant magnetic field because of earth, okay, B resultant of earth with horizontal, indirectly I am referring to earth's surface, okay, keep this point in mind. Now if you take your earth, your magnetic axis is like this, okay, right. Now in some books they will try to introduce magnetic meridian here itself. Your magnetic meridian is a plane which is passing through the magnetic axis, okay. Magnetic meridian I will talk about it later, but for now basic information first. So it is a magnetic meridian is a plane, okay. Magnetic meridian is, okay, later not to get confused, if somewhere in while reading the books, some reference book if you are studying, okay, they will use these words. Don't worry, I did not discuss this. Magnetic meridian, just simply understand that plane passing through magnetic poles and that point where you are actually measuring, okay. So don't worry, I will talk about it later, but magnetic meridian is a plane. Similarly, your geographic meridian also will be there. Your geographic meridian is also a plane passing through, okay, geographic poles, plane through geographic poles, okay. Even small kids will be able to follow the meridian idea. Don't worry, I will show it with figure. I will try to explain, so don't think too much. So here dip circle needle, first we will study this in detail, okay. Angle of inclination, or which is also called as dip, okay. In different books this is different. So now let's forget the meridian thing. Now let's concentrate only on the angle of inclination part. So now your angle of inclination, if you are trying to keep it, okay, this is your angle of inclination, right? This part is your angle of, I mean this is your magnetic north, this is your magnetic south, okay. So now here you have got magnetic north, you have got your magnetic south, sorry, okay. Not to confuse, I am not drawing geographic axis, but around 11.3 degrees I have to draw it, but no confusion, this is your magnetic axis, right? Next, magnetic equator will be like this, okay. Geographic ones are different, magnetic ones are different. Magnetic equator. Now you will take dip circle. What is it I am telling you? Dip circle will align itself, okay. Dip circle will align itself in the direction of resultant magnetic field. Magnetic compass needle also, but it will show only the horizontal component, okay. Later I will show it with diagram, you will not get confused, don't worry. But for now only understand the fact that in resultant magnetic field direction, if it is this way, your dip circle, because it is allowed freely to rotate in the vertical direction, it will orient itself in the direction of resultant magnetic field, okay. So my point is, if I take any sharp object, say for example my resultant magnetic field direction is this way. Now look at this. If you take compass needle, what will it do? I mean in this room itself to this corner, if it is this way, okay, dip circle will align in the downward, in this Planck direction, whereas magnetic needle, what it will do? It will point, if you see my shoulder, this arm, your magnetic needle will point only in the arm direction, okay. Whereas your dip circle, it will orient in the resultant magnetic field. That means indirectly I can find out the angle between my arm and this Planck, okay. So which is your angle of inclination, okay. Angle of inclination or dip is, what is the angle between horizontal, my arm is, okay, my arm is what? Parallel to earth surface. My arm is parallel to earth surface. So your dip circle will orient in the direction of resultant magnetic field. So indirectly you will get the angle between earth surface and your resultant magnetic field direction. Dip circle will do that, okay. I don't know how much you have understood it, but if you don't understand, I can't help it, okay. So your dip circle at this place if your magnetic field direction is this way and your magnetic field is field lines, I have told you it is this way. Okay, your earth magnet, somewhere you will have your south pole, north pole. Now if you take your dip circle to this region, somewhere I think it is Antarctica, I don't know, check it in the Google or this thing in the globe. Okay, somewhere in Antarctica, if I take this dip circle, now your resultant magnetic field, it is in which direction? Now let us look at the dip angle at equator and magnetic equator and magnetic poles. Now let us say I am standing on the pole. Now what is it I am telling you? Your dip circle will orient itself in the direction of resultant magnetic field. Now let us say I am standing on the pole. Now if I stand near the pole, your compass needle, okay, is different and dip circle is different. Now dip circle, if you take if I am standing on the pole, okay, at pole if I am standing, dip circle will orient itself in the direction of resultant magnetic field, right? So now at the pole, if I am standing, either this magnetic south pole or magnetic north pole, it doesn't matter, but if I stand at that place, my magnetic field is this way. Now dip circle, what did I tell you? It shows or it gives you the angle between horizontal. If my dip circle is chalk piece and this is your horizontal, now your dip circle will orient itself in the direction of resultant magnetic field. So what is this dip angle? What is the angle with the horizontal? It is 90 degrees, right? So my point is, at poles your dip angle is 90 degrees. Okay, getting my point? Dip circle, if this is your dip circle needle will orient itself in the direction of resultant magnetic field, and it gives, okay, dip circle instrument will give us angle between horizontal to the earth surface. So I am at the pole, my field lines are coming this way, my horizontal is this way, right? So equipment shows 90 degrees. I don't know how much you have followed, but I think I am clear. Okay, so not to have confusion, okay, the key takeaway is your angle of inclination or dip, it is, okay, at this point it will orient itself, thus that field line that is coming, it will come like this. So dip circle, dip or phi is 90 degrees here. Here also dip or phi is 90 degrees. Dip or inclination I, if some people are keeping this symbol as I, let it be, I is 90 degrees. If you stand on this surface here, surface of earth, somewhere here your field line will be this way, okay, here it will be this way. If this is your equator, magnetic equator, at this point your dip circle, it will show in the horizontal direction. Your flat, okay, dip circle shows angle with horizontal. This is your earth surface. So earth surface, your earth is spherical, so this is your earth surface. Already magnetic field is parallel to surface of earth. Here dip circle will obviously show 0 degrees. Here inclination or dip, whatever you take, that is 0. At equator, at poles, okay, dip angle at poles 90, at equator 0, because at equator your magnetic field lines are parallel to Earth's surface. Okay, if somebody is standing here vertical, when you stand at the magnetic equator, field lines will be going parallel like this. They will be going parallel to Earth's surface. So when they are going parallel to Earth's surface, and if you are standing here, your dip circle will orient itself in the direction of resultant magnetic field. So that is why angle is 0. Hope you are getting my point. Poles, it will go into the pole, at the poles. Okay, your resultant magnetic field this way, so that is why dip circle needle will be this way. Your horizontal to the earth surface will be this way, angle 90 degrees. Okay, at equator, magnetic equator, it will go like this parallel to earth surface. You are standing here, so when the line is going like this, obviously it will be orienting itself in the direction of resultant magnetic field, so that is why angle is 0. So at equator phi 0, that is dip is 0 or inclination is 0. At poles it is 90 degrees. Okay, right? Relax, take time. Hope you have understood it. Don't get confused with the terms. Right? So they will ask simple basic questions in the regional entrance exams. They will ask this. Mostly in the mains, I don't think so. These kind of direct questions they will not ask. But if it comes, you are lucky. Right? Next. COVID thing. Now, let me move ahead to general point. At some general point, what is my inclination or dip angle? I will tell you. Names, variance, that thing, this thing, fancy words will be there, but don't remember all that stuff. Simple. Inclination or dip is same. Declination we will see later. Okay. Now we are seeing only inclination. I am representing by symbol phi. Okay, or I. Phi or I. In CBSE books I think it is I. I don't remember. Somebody asked me doubt. So long back. So I remember it is I suppose. Next. Yes. This is your earth. Finally, I have managed to convince you that field line will be this way. Now, somewhere here you are standing. Horizontal to the earth surface is this. Now, your resultant, if you keep your dip circle, obviously what will this do? Your dip circle will be pointing itself in the direction of resultant magnetic field, right? So now, if you try to draw a different figure, your earth surface is this way. Somewhere here if field line is going this way, then obviously dip circle instrument will orient itself this way. Your resultant magnetic field will be this way. Your horizontal component will be this way. This is your BH, this is your BV, this is your dip angle phi. What is that I am doing? Your resultant magnetic field will not be parallel to earth surface. This is your earth surface. This diagram, if you understand, half of my job is done. At some general point, just now we have seen poles phi is 90. Here also phi is 90. Equator 0. Angle of inclination is 0. Okay, getting my point? So your dip circle, it will orient, your dip needle will orient like this. Magnetic needle gives this. Relax. Cool. Magnetic needle indirectly shows BH only. In the horizontal plane it will show. So my point is, I don't know in the camera colors are correctly visible or not, because for the adjustment I have done some internal change in settings. Let us say your resultant magnetic field is this way. Your magnetic needle, as I have told you, best example, this Planck and arm I have shown you, right? Dip circle orients in the direction of Planck. If I am holding myself in the arm direction, okay, in the camera, this magnetic needle will show this BH. Dip circle will show this Planck. Magnetic needle will show my arm, BH parallel to earth surface. Compass needle, magnetic compass needle will show my arm. Dip circle will show this thing, it will orient itself in the resultant direction of this Planck. Okay, hope you have got what I am trying to tell you. So this is called as BH is B resultant cos phi, BV is B resultant sin phi, BV is vertical component of Earth's surface, vertical component of Earth surface what? Vertical component of Earth's magnetic field, which is perpendicular to surface of Earth. BV is perpendicular to surface of Earth. BH is horizontal component. Okay, BH is horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. BH is B resultant cos phi, BV is B resultant sin phi. Very, very important. Phi is your dip angle, or also called as angle of inclination. This is your true dip. True dip. What is this true dip? I will tell you. Okay, true dip. It is your true dip. Okay, right? Hope you are clear till here. Okay, nice rhyming. Okay, hope there are no doubts. Right? Just keep this story in mind. Okay, and so after this much explanation, I need to write conclusion, or else many people will forget lot of stuff. So, moral of the story is, your angle of inclination, if you take, it is represented by symbol I or phi, or dip, it is also called as. General point B resultant is this way, which we will resolve like this, our convenience. This is your BH, horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. This is your phi or I. Okay, phi or I. Your BH is B resultant cos phi. BV is B resultant sin phi. Just simple vectors. Okay, right? This phi is your dip angle. This is called as your dip angle given by dip circle. This is at some general point. Okay, next, at poles, at equator. At poles dip angle is 90. At equator dip is 0. Magnetic equator and magnetic poles, not geographic equator and geographic poles. Okay, right? Hope there are no doubts. Okay, right? This much story you remember. Okay, next. Now tan phi, sorry, very important. If you take this tan phi here, okay, it is BV by BH. First important formula 1, second important formula 2, third important formula 3, compass needle, dip circle, very important, BH compass needle, phi dip circle. Okay, each instrument has its own use and meaning. So 3 relations you remember from this much story. Okay, right? Now next, let me continue. Okay, now next, at equator and poles, which component is 0? You can write it. Okay, because at poles phi is 90 means BV is B resultant, BH is 0. Okay, right? At poles, if you substitute this, if you remember this story, at poles your BV is B resultant, horizontal component BH is 0. Okay, your compass needle will show some random direction at poles. At equator BV is 0, BH is B resultant. Okay, which is pretty obvious. You can substitute the values. Okay, right? Next is your angle of declination. Meridians I have told you, no? So from that I will tell you. So this meridian thing is slightly confusing and often people do it, but I will try to just take this. Geographic axis, magnetic axis. Now whether you take geographic meridian or magnetic meridian, remember that it is a plane passing through geographic poles, plane passing through magnetic poles, plane through NGSG, plane through NMSM, that is magnetic south and geographic magnetic north. So now this is your NM, this is your SM, this is your NG, this is your SG. Okay, now here often students get confused in lot of aspects. What is this angle of declination means? Okay, it is your angle between two meridians. Angle of, my heading I will keep it as angle of, previously it was inclination, now it is declination, represented by symbol theta, or some books it is D even. I will keep theta, it is my habit. Okay, so often when you, which symbols you will read for the first time, you will remember those symbols only. Okay, it will be your habit automatically. So for me, I think theta and phi, so that is why I have taken. In books some other symbol. Okay, what is there in symbols? Subject is important, right? Now your angle of declination theta, if you take, it is the angle between, okay, your meridians. Meridian means, I have told you, it is a plane. So your plane means out of the sphere that you take, okay, it is a plane. This is a plane. This plank is a plane. So like this, it is a plane. Magnetic meridian is a plane passing through this. If you are passing through the poles, okay, many people will think magnetic meridian means yes, it is passing through poles, but they will think that it will orient only in this direction. But trust me, if you have some general point here, somewhere here, some point P it is there, your magnetic meridian, even this is a magnetic meridian. It is passing through poles, at the same time it is also passing through point. Okay, it is passing through poles as well as point. Similarly, so indirectly I am referring to a kind of plane passing through this. It is a plane passing through poles as well as that particular point. For formation of plane you need minimum 3 points. Don't think it is only this way. Your magnetic meridian is only this way. No. Magnetic meridian is plane passing through poles. That's all. It can be this way. It can be this way. If the point is here, for example, it can even be this way. It can be this way, this way, this way. It can even be here. If the point is here, this is also magnetic meridian. Similarly, geographic meridian, it is a plane passing through geographic poles. It is geographic meridian. It is also geographic meridian, geographic meridian, geographic meridian, like this. In fact, I want you to understand that these are different planes. Don't think only this and I think I have sheet here. Don't think these two are only the geographic and magnetic meridians. Often students get confused here and they will keep asking silly doubts. Okay, so no, look at this. This is meridian. This is also meridian. Angle between them is 11.3 degrees. I have told you. Angle of declination is 11.3. In the start itself I have told you. But don't think these are only the planes. These are nothing but through this point, through the center if you are passing, yes, these two are the geographic and magnetic meridians. But somewhere here if you take some point here, then this is your magnetic meridian and your geographic meridian. I think I will take some book here. I have Galaxy Ashish Arora. Okay, so here geographic thing, it will be like this. Okay, there is some angle. Okay, there is some angle between this plane. Okay, later you will come to know it if you imagine in 3D. Okay, in 3D if you imagine, you will get to know. Okay, if you are imagining in 3D, you will get to know. But it is a plane. Geographic meridian plane is this way. Magnetic meridian plane is this way. Okay, so now the following diagram that I am going to draw now is what you are going to see in your books. I have lost the chalk, but hope I am audible clearly. So coming to the books diagram, okay, so in 3D if you are imagining properly, your angle of declination is angle between geographic meridian and magnetic meridian. Okay, so my point is magnetic meridian, if you take like this, it will be like this. Both are different. That is a plane. This angle is angle of declination. I will keep it as theta. Your angle of inclination, your resultant magnetic field will always be in magnetic meridian, B resultant. This angle that you have here is phi. Okay. If this is your geographic meridian, for example, now for going, if you want to go to geographic North Pole, you should not travel in the direction of magnetic compass needle. Magnetic compass needle will show magnetic meridian, right? So if you take this globe, for example, if your axis is like this, if you follow magnetic meridian, it will take you to which point? It will take you to this point. But if your actual destination is this, so what is it you are supposed to do? You are supposed to tilt yourself. Okay, if you are tilting east, so your declination theta degrees east, if you tilt it, then you will go to North Pole, actual North Pole. Similarly, somewhere here, if you are here, and if this is d or theta, for example, if this is theta, you should go theta degrees west. Here you should go to theta degrees west to go to actual South Pole. So depending upon your orientation, your theta degrees east west will change. My point is, this part is what? Declination. Angle between geographic meridian and magnetic meridian. This part phi is what? Angle of inclination or dip. Inclination or dip. Both are different. Okay, this is also called as true dip. Okay, now don't worry, cool, relax. Hope you are understanding this. Geographic meridian, yellow color one. Okay, right? It is like this. Let me take a paper here. I don't know, but look at this. This paper is your geographic meridian. This paper is magnetic meridian. Okay. So this angle here is phi. This angle between these two planes is your angle of declination. 3D imagination, you have to do it. Okay. So now this part is, okay, your vertical component, how much you got? BV, if you take your B resultant sin phi, okay, right? And wrong color, white color. I am very bad in selection of colors. Your BH is B resultant cos phi. Okay, declination. If you take, okay, this is your final thing. Hope you have understood this. Okay, now your elements of terrestrial magnetism word, if I am using elements of terrestrial magnetism word, if I am using, okay, so what are those? I will say BH, I, R, phi, whatever, and it is declination theta. Okay, if you know these things, this is your inclination or dip. If you know these things, this is your horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. Now you give me these three things, I will find out magnetic field resultant direction, everything. Okay, B bar, magnitude, direction, everything I can find out using these values. So that is why these are called as your elements of terrestrial magnetism. Okay, now simple questions they will ask. They will give you BH, they will ask you to calculate B resultant, they will give you phi. What will you do? B resultant is equal to BH equal to B resultant cos phi, you will substitute the values. Similarly, BV something unknown will be asked, you can calculate this. Okay, now this I will take care in the problem solving session, don't worry. But often one relation will be given. So now hope you have understood this. Okay, so extra point, okay, apart from this geographic meridian, they will give you planes. Two mutually perpendicular planes are there, and they will ask you apparent dip, true dip. No, that part I will explain. But this angle is your true dip or inclination, this is your declination. What is this apparent dip? I will tell you. So if you take a plane other than magnetic meridian, okay, what is it you are doing? You are taking a plane other than magnetic meridian. So this is your magnetic meridian. I will pick yellow color like this. Okay, this is the plane that you have taken now. Now observe carefully. B resultant is this way. This angle is phi. BH is this way. BV is this way. Now, if you know this angle theta, okay, if you take these components in this direction, which is BH dash, and if you take vertical components magnetic field BV dash, in that particular plane, projections you are taking on this plane, yellow color, right? So if you are taking in this flat plane, okay, one is coming out like this, its projection of horizontal component you are taking in this plane. Okay, in this plane you are taking this plane. Okay, so my point is, I think Planck will give you much clarity. So my point is, let us say your magnetic meridian is like this. Now your BH will be along the edge of this. Its component in this plane, BH component in this plane is BH dash. BH is this way. Its component in this plane I am taking. Okay, in the figure I hope you are clear. So that if you take, what is BH means? B resultant cos phi. What is BV means? B resultant sin phi. In this plane, if you are taking your BV dash and BH dash in this plane, projections, your apparent dip is in this plane, your B dash resultant if you take, this is your apparent dip phi dash. Okay, this is called as your apparent dip in that projected, in that new plane. Okay, in that new plane, whatever you are taking, that is your apparent dip. Relax, don't worry, I will calculate it. So your BH dash, how much it is means, okay, from this angle theta is known, right? So it is BH dash is BH cos theta. What is BH? B resultant cos phi. So B resultant cos phi cos theta. Relax, don't worry. I am taking this component. I am taking this component. Here also I will take this component. So this component if I take, it's not going to change because the vertical component is same. So your BV dash is still B resultant sin phi. Okay, now your tan phi dash is apparent dip is BH dash, BH dash, how much it is? B resultant cos phi cos theta by B resultant sin phi. Okay, vertical component is not going to change because both are same. Okay, only these two components are changing. Okay, so B resultant tan phi dash is cos theta by tan phi. Your apparent dip is, okay, just hold on, let me I should take, sorry, my mistake. Your tan phi dash is, okay, vertical component I should write. Ayyo. Tan phi dash is, I am checking where did I go wrong. Sorry, tan phi dash is vertical component by horizontal component, right? So BV dash by BH dash. BV dash is B resultant sin phi by BH dash is B resultant cos phi cos theta. B resultant will cancel off. Your apparent dip, this is your apparent dip. So I write it on the top. Final conclusion is tan phi dash is true dip by tan phi by cos theta. Cos theta. Theta is declination angle. This is your declination. This is your inclination or dip. For some general plane, this is your value. This is your inclination or true dip. This is your apparent dip. This result I want you to remember, very important. Okay. So from this problems will come. So that is why I am giving this. Okay. Hope there are no doubts. Okay, I am erasing this. Hope you have copied this thing down. So what did we get? Tan phi dash, your apparent dip is tan phi by cos of theta. Now if two perpendicular planes are present, from this they will ask you questions. I will try to give questions if time is there. Okay, so already the time is too much. Oh, I think I need to split this lecture into two parts. So if two perpendicular planes are present, what will happen is one plane will be like this. Your second perpendicular plane will be like this. Magnetic meridian will be like this. Now what is there? This is your magnetic meridian. This is your first plane, plane 1. This is your second plane, plane 2. Two mutually perpendicular planes. Now your angle of declination, this side will be theta, this side it is 90 minus theta. Okay. So now somewhere in the magnetic meridian plane, somewhere here you will have your resultant magnetic field. So tan theta for first plane, if you apply your true dip tan phi by, how much you will get? Cos theta. Okay. For second one, tan of, what did I do? Tan phi dash or tan phi 1, apparent dip. Tan phi 2, your dip for second one is tan phi by cos of 90 minus theta. This is your second one. Now do the reciprocal of this or send cos theta to other side. Cos theta here is tan phi by tan phi 1. Sin cos of 90 minus theta is sin theta. Sin theta is tan phi by tan phi 2. Do squaring on both sides and add it. So cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1. So 1 is equal to tan square phi by tan square phi 1 plus tan square phi by tan square phi 2. So send tan square phi to other side. 1 by tan square phi is equal to 1 by tan square phi 1 plus 1 by tan square phi 2. So you are going to get cot square phi is equal to cot square phi 1 plus cot square phi 2. Okay, now what are phi 1 and phi 2? Phi 1 and phi 2 are apparent dips. Apparent dips in mutually perpendicular planes. Phi is true dip. Okay, so based on this relation they will ask simple questions. You must be able to do it. Okay, and last, okay, just remember it as information. Your latitude tan phi is equal to 2 tan lambda. In regional entrances they will ask, mostly in the mains I don't know whether this part is there. This is your latitude. Okay, lambda is your magnetic latitude of place. Okay, geographical latitude, magnetic latitude, both are different. So this is 2 tan of lambda. This is your magnetic latitude of place. Okay, so keep these relations in mind. Okay, basic questions what are asked, you just simply do it. Okay, now isogonic, isoclinic lines and all will be there. So same declination, same inclination if it is there, so you will be calling those lines. Okay, so we need to do problems. I will add those two problem solving sessions separately. Okay, right.